Hello everyone. Oh, I need to fix something with the green screen. Hello Sunshine, hello Mark. Welcome. Welcome to everybody else as well. We are already 13. So it's a bear and shield stream. We're gonna do bear. Maybe maybe I have a little surprise after the bear. So if you'd like to stick around, but I'm not gonna wait too long. Just we'll do bear. Bear with no pets. Because tomorrow we have SVS battle. So need to keep that for later. And lower that. And let's go. Oh, someone was doing polars. How are you today, everyone? I need to find back the channel. Hey, Coco. How are you as well? Hey, you, Bamba. Greetings as well from France. Perfect. We got our rallies going in. I'll do mine in 30 sec. Hello, Gedid. Jedid? Gedid? I'm not sure to pronounce. Jedid? It's a Jedi or? I have no idea to pronounce your nickname or first name. I probably look super tired, like I have some food supplement to take, and they you know, they are doing certain things and they are as well making you sleepy. And which I did not understood. I need to take before bed and not with dinner. So the wife was like making fun of me, being like, you should take that before bed, it's gonna make you sleepy. And she was right. So it's a very chill bear. Half asleep. Hey Jerry. Welcome, welcome. What are you guys are doing tonight? Chilling, or do you guys are doing bear as well? I know many people are doing around that time, so but it's a very quiet bear for us. That's very little amount of rallies so far. I should start by that. Do I do pets? I'll keep pets for tomorrow just in case, even if it's my farm, you know. Not really fighting with it, but you never know. I need to do my prep on the farm. I don't really need to do much, you know. These guys are cooked basically. Where is it? Yeah, it's even without really trying, we do 5.8 billion at this stage of the game. It's a bit insane, to be honest. We are not really like... Thanks for the heart. Salut Fabien. Hello, hello then. So I have a little surprise a bit after bear, so we'll keep that for later. Welcome everybody. Let's do the little things in between until the next wave. But I did not really log on my farm today that much, so see, I don't even collect the stamina and stuff. It's kind of lagging behind a bit. A lot of work lately, so I could squeeze a few good videos this week, but it was a bit of a time management challenge, I guess. Nothing here we can do. Some tracks to collect. And let's go back. How is your SVS going, everyone? Like, do you win? Are you losing? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've read your message, but I'll try to get if it's G or G. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, depending on the language, I guess. But thank you for your message. I watch your videos and discuss it with my alliance. That's pretty good. My alliance is not really discussing my videos sometimes. If you guys are watching, you should. Sometimes it will help us. But I really, I really don't want to push it on people. So even my alliance sometimes. So people take it if they want to. We always look forward when you drop new ones. Thank you for the hard work. Thank you very much. I try my, really trying to. And I think it shows. I think it really helps. I think there are quite a few other people as well, kind of stepping up a bit with the quality of content and things that we offer on YouTube. It's a bit better now than it used to be. So I don't know if it has anything to do with us or me, but I'm happy to see that one of the current situation is like things are getting a bit better. Because for example, like the French guys. Oh, sorry, I need to. Why is that loud? Because you probably got it as well, right? The messenger thing. Okay, we'll see later if I can make it. We are winning with more than 3 billion, but I'm ranked 12. Yeah, that's tough. How many months did you save? That's a bit... It's tough, right? SVS is, it's quite hard to rank, to be honest. As soon as you go on... I did not really pay attention, but... how much people... So if I would have pushed, I had a good chance at being here. But maybe I will be here as well.Maybe I will be 4. But like 170, that's a lot. That's really a lot for one SVS. So like the 100k points, 100 million points now with being FC10 and stuff, I should break that quite easily with using the training speed ups on the general speed ups on training. That should be quite easy to break, but going above that, it's probably a bit rough even for me saving 3 months. So it's really, really not easy. And next time we have Gen 10, so next time we patch it, it's a new gen, so for us, we are winning by 5 billion. The other set is not even trying. That's a lot, because like how much billion do you make? Because like we are making 5.8 billion, but we are not winning by 5. So that's a very good state. You have a very active state probably. I think we can push 6-7 billion, if we make an effort. Like, but I think we have quite a few people saving. So not many people need the shard. It's an easy SVS, so there is little motivation to push at that stage, right? I only did 54 million points, yes, so that's I mean, I don't know for your state, it really depends, right? But it could be it could be a bit light, let's say, to rank. Oh, we have Denise. Maybe that's good points. Let's go on the farm. Oh, I need a lot of things to do actually. So let's start with that. Let's start a rally so everybody else can enjoy it as well. And then let's do some of these. That's why you keep it, to help yourself. That's 200 points a day. I don't know if it really matters, to be honest, but that's, you know, that's something. And let's go back to the main 4 points. I saw there was someone in DC that was like 14 versus 13 billion. That's insane. But like these, you know, some of these leading states, they do crazy points. Many states turn many accounts into like SVS point making machines. So it is a bit of an issue, I guess, in some places. People of the Alliance are watching. I should join top to bottom, not skip any rally. I always do that anyway. But is it always advisable to transfer to a leading state? It really depends, to be honest. Personally, I would not. It depends on what you want, right? Leading states are often means like a lot of whales, a lot of spenders. So if you care to rank on events, it's gonna be very, very hard, and it's gonna make you I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, like unless you're a big spender, you are kind of a cheerleader for the big spenders, right? You might not be able to join many rallies, you might be out of many events like Legion 1 on event and stuff, because they will be like leading state is mostly about top 100, right? They probably take a few other data points that they have. You know, they have the amount of points you make in SVF, they have the amount of whatever they could use, you know, the amount of intel mission you do every day. Like they have a lot of data points they could use to, but it has a lot to do with the top 100. So if you look at some states, the leading state in the neighborhood for us is often states that are either have like 5 alliance and very good top 100, or some states that have 3 alliances but like a even better top 100, like lot of globes and spenders for us where we are in the game. So it's you know, it depends a bit, but you know, it depends. If you like to be involved in like being part of the joiner and doing the event and stuff, like you have to be quite a good spender in some leading state, I believe. So it's a bit of a personal choice. Tonton, are you winning your SVS? Yeah, easy. I did not push at all on my main. I barely did any points. You see, like I've made not even 10 million points. And on my farm, I pushed very little. And when I started to push, it was already won. So I barely kept pushing basically on my farm. So not much on my side, at least. But you know, my farm is really used for SVS, so I don't care if I don't push, and if I'm getting kind of weaker on it, that's really okay for me. That's really, really okay. Can I go on the farm quickly? Yeah. Generation 4 is closed. For Gabriel, I have 550 shards. I have all my heroes 4 stars. Keep Logan, Alonso, Fili. I want to have a good arena replacing my Sergei. Should I go for Reyna? 4 star or save? Yeah, I'll need a sec to kind of go through a few things. Do you have plans for Gen 5? For example. That could be one thing to ask you before I answer. Like, what was your plan? You know, assuming like I'm not censoring you and you had to do it alone. Like, what was your reasoning, thinking, and plan? That's gonna tell me a bit as well what you focus on in terms of game modes and stuff. Because that's you know, it's never that easy, I find, for these things. There are a lot of good potential good answers, if that makes sense. Yeah, I can join. Perfect. That's what I wanted. I was saving for Gwen because I heard she's the beast overall. So that's very true. So right now, the way I think about it is Gen 4 for me is more or less a skip. So if you said you skip Alonso, that means you did Greg. So your marksmen are kind of weak compared to someone that did Alonso and Greg. But Greg is okay. You're going to get lean. That's going to be okay. It's going to take a little while. So it means that you have Baiti probably, something like that. I don't know what you use in Arena, but you probably don't have Dinman as well. Unless you spend quite more than I think you did. So you will want to do Marksman, but Gen 4 you have Lean, so that's gonna just take a bit of time. I would not use any General Shards on Lean. That's really not worth it, but that you will do her, and that's gonna put you with Greg and Lean. That's gonna be okay. Lancers you probably did Mia. Now we tend to do Mia quite a bit. Quite, you know, we used to do Mia not that much, but now people, you know, see the value of Mia long term for bear, for everything. So they tend to do a lot more of Mia. Then, you know, it was advised when I was Gen 3, for example. So that could be, that means that Reyna is often not as good as it used to be because you have a stronger Mia. So the gap between, you know, if you have Mia that is 5 stars or 4 stars and a half and you have a decent widget, and a Reyna that you do 4 star and you do widget 2 or 3 or even 4, then, you know, it's not as big as it used to be because, you know, we used to play, you know, these to do these heroes a lot less. That's simple as that. So Gen 4 Amos is really good for your arena in the sense of, like, if you have Sergei, it's gonna be a big buff, right? That's for sure. So you could do a bit of Amos, but, you know, Amos is not that great solo. He's okay, right? He's better than you did Logan. No, you skip Logan, right? You skip Logan. So yeah. So Amos is an okay choice to 4 stars. But for me, I find it a lot more interesting right now to do both Nora and Gwen Gen 5. So you want your 1075 shard to do your Gwen maxed out. Nora, if you push on a KOI SVS, you can get some shard from her, so you don't need that much eventually if you manage to rank. But you want to do Nora because they are both. Gwen is like your bear arena hero and stuff like that. on top of being your solo march hero. That's really good. She's really good with you know, with marksmen. She's not really good with lancers, so that's why you need to use her. But it's not really a gen where you use lancers too much. It's more, you play more like 50, 20, 30 at that stage, radically. If that makes sense. So I'll suggest to do Nora 4-star so you get her as a joiner. Like, it's really, really important to have her, I think, for like if you care to be joining the cool rallies, you probably need that. That's just the way it works nowadays. It is what it is. That's the meta, right? So it's hard not to play it. So if you don't transfer and if you don't, you know, don't accumulate more shards, I will actually skip Gen 4 if I were you, and bet on Gen 5 and be like, kind of suck it up for a while and be like, I'm not gonna be great now, but I'm gonna be great later. If that makes sense. Thank you, I will say. It's a very personal choice, but that was my choice for me. Like, even before, you know, before doing all of that, my plan was to really skip Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, not really invest, go Gen 5, because Gen 5 is very good. I just end up doing Gen 4 because I transferred so much that I had so many shards that I could, right? So if you are not in that case, I'll consider skipping Gen 4, especially with the current way of the game is, and like the joiners are Gen 5. Reyna is not really good at the joiner. I might make a video, but the TLDR on Reyna is very simple. It's like, she's a good joiner if you don't have hero that has a lot of skill damage. But Nora had a lot of skill damage. Gen 6 Wayne had a lot of skill damage. Hector had a lot of skill damage. So it's not a generation that you can use her as a joiner too much. She's not used as a joiner that much, to be honest, because of... There are some Gen 7, 8 combo you can do with barely any skill damage, where Reyna is a great joiner, but that's more an HK than the way it works most of the time. So if you have a solid Mia, of course Reyna is gonna be a bit better because she's the beast in arena. But for example, Nora is replacing Reyna, so it's not like Reyna is so good that you're gonna keep her for multiple gens in arena. It's like, if you do both, you replace Reyna by Nora. So it's not a proof of being an amazing hero that you're gonna keep for a very long term, right? If it's replaced by the next gen. So it's not like a Bradley or a Gwen. Gwen, you're gonna keep her in arena just 6, 7, 9. I mean 9 I still use her, but you can replace her if you have Hendrik and Zura. But for me, Gen 9, I'm still using Gwen in arena. For Bear, you use her until Bradley, you know, which is like deep into... Can I do 18? Let's try. Yeah, you can use her, you know, deep into Gen 7, because you will need like at least halfway through Gen 7 to replace her with Bradley for Bear and stuff. So, oh, it's you know. Gwen is like far more valuable, for example. Far more valuable. I will stick to my state or go to an okay state. Yeah, for me, it's like, it's really if you care to rank, like it depends where you play, right? For me, I like to take part in events. Nowadays, you know, I'm spending with the YouTube channel and stuff. I'm spending all the money I got basically, you know, from the ads and stuff on YouTube. I'm spending that and a tiny bit from my own pocket. So it's quite easy, you know. I have like all T11, I'm FC10, I have the good joiner, so it's quite easy. But if you are like free to play and you are lagging a bit behind, it's really tough to take part in like Tyrant, to take part into Tundra Arms League. So if you want to do this, the smaller the states, the weaker and the smaller the states you go to is, the easier it is to get in, right? If you're active and well-developed account and you did not make too many mistakes. So I'll find the balance here between where you are and what you want to do. And again, if you don't care about these events and you just like to be with the big players and big part of that group and stuff, and that's okay. That's really okay as well. Like it's already need to be at peace with how you like the game and how you like to play it, and find the balance for that. Nothing is, I mean, some things are better than others. Like if you are using, I don't know, 20% infantry and 80% marksman, probably not gonna be very happy burning people's cities and fighting. But you know, if someone likes to play that way, why not? At the end of the day, you know, if it's fun for them. But yeah, when it comes to states and alliance, it's really a personal choice. Like, do you want a family kind of state or alliance? Do you want like a ultra competitive? This thing varies a lot. Yeah, you really want Gwen. Gwen, I think it's really worth it. And you will want 1075 shards for Gwen. So, you know, it's a bit much for but you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. What are the must heroes for Gen 3? What is Gen 3? Gen 3 is Mia from the Lucky Wheel. You must have Mia. You know, you want Mia 4 stars at least, and you want a widget that is as high as possible, because you're gonna use her for bear until Gen 13, probably even more. So you're gonna use Mia forever for bear. It's gonna be for, you know, a good year, a good 2 years. So you will want to put some effort in your Mia in terms of shards, because eventually you will start to use a lot of lancers when you're Gen 3, but then over time you will really reduce it. If you look at me, I'm like 1% infantry, 5% lancers right now. So having a very strong Mia does not really matter at that stage, but you know, I'm Gen 9, so before that you might use 10, 20, 30% lancers, and then a strong Mia will help you a bit with that. But that's really for bear damage. You don't have, but it's Mia 4 stars, and then if you have to consider Logan or Greg, I'll consider Greg, because you can use him you can use him in labyrinths, you can use him in a few places when, you know, Logan is like really a rally leader hero. So if you are a rally leader, it's a very different story. It's that you need to tell me, George. If you're a rally leader, Logan, like for rally leaders right now, they like people are doing crazy shit with Logan, even in Gen 6 at least. If not further than that, people are doing crazy shit with Logan. So that will be something that you will need to consider if you are a rally leader. I like a balanced state. In my current state, I'm top 15. That's pretty good. But most of my power is true power. I liked everywhere else. I'm trying to catch up. I mean, what matters to be a joiner is your troop level and having the right heroes. So everything else do not matter. But then if you want to really know your power, you have to look mostly at Labyrinth. That's a very good spot. And see, I've been saving for 3 months, so I'm, you know, slowly going down the leaderboard. I'm slowly feigning in the leaderboard pets, you know, but it's not that much of a great wow. Will the Great is really catching up. That's pretty good. Expert, you know. Oh, that's expert, that's not pets. Total hero power, but you know, people start to have multiple sets, so it starts to be a lot less relevant for people that have multiple sets. Because like, she's maxed, he's not that far from max. Like these guys are not that far from max on their main march, so it's not really relevant anymore to... Do I need to join rallies? Yeah, I need some because my own rally is not with buffs today, so I'm not sure about the damage I'm gonna do. So I need a bit of a margin to get to the next tier of rewards here. Then I got a little surprise for you after that. You're welcome, George. Let me know if you need if you have other question. Gwen gets replaced after 1 gen. No. Wayne better bear. No. Wayne is not better for bear. Attack and defense arena from my experience. Not as well. I mean, like you're not gonna arena. Like if you look at my exploration in arena, and I'll, you know, you might have a different experience with your heroes, with the combos, because like when people are talking, you know, which one is best, it's like, how do your heroes synergize with the other ones? But what I found out, like I used to use Wayne, they are exactly the same, right? Wayne and Gwen for me are both widget level 4, 5 stars. They're exactly the same. So I used to play that because I saw that Wayne was better than Gwen. I changed for Gwen. I cleared 15 level. And my arena is a lot more consistent as well because of the AoE damage of Gwen. So Gwen, in that setup, for me, works a lot better than Wayne. When you are Gen 6, you're gonna use both anyway. When you get Bradley, you're gonna use the 3 of them anyway, very likely. So, but for Bear, Wayne is not better. Unless they change something and he works differently, but for Bear, he is really not better. Oh, I did not see if I got anything new. But these are the one I got, so Explorer of the World, you know. I can keep that for later, for another day, but... So I disagree a bit, but that's okay, we can disagree. I'm Gen 8, and if I flex to 3 marks in Arena, I have better luck with Wayne than Gwen. But for me, I have far better result with Gwen, somehow. Like far better, even in Exploration. And the best, of course, is to have Hendrik, you know. So you mean you had them with widget 10? So the gap, like, because your Wayne is stronger because he has a better widget. So that's a bit of a different story as well between Max Widget and me. Like, they are a lot closer for me than they are for you because they are max stars. Okay, fair enough. So Wayne is a bit better. But my widget is on level 4, so like the widget of Wayne is quite stronger when it comes to stats. So, but for Bear, that should be a big one because Wayne is a defensive widget and Gwen is offensive widget. Gwen has better stats. Yeah, that we agree. That for sure. I mean, for me, all I did, I used to play that. So someone mentioned that 3 marksman is working very well with Xura, Bradley, and Hendrik. So I tried like that, and that was working better than 2 infantry, 1 lancers with Wayne. But I was lacking AoE damage. I was struggling to kill opponents and stuff. So I did that. And I cleared, I don't know if it's 15, but I remember 15. Maybe it was like 10 or something, but it was a good amount of levels. Just by doing that. And Xura kind of keeping, I mean, that's not the right setup. Xura needs to be middle, but I had to put some XP components on Gwen, so she's kept alive by Xura. You see, like she's healing back up a bit. But you know, that level I cannot beat for now, so. Yeah, but it could be that we, you know, in our own experiences we are both right, if you know what I mean. It's not like, you know, one is right and the other is wrong. It's like with the max widget it could totally be a different than level 4 widget. And that's where, you know, that's why I like to, like, I'm trying to be not black and white with my answers often, and sometimes I am, you know, with what's right, what's wrong, and stuff like that. Because like there is a, you know, depending if you are talking to a maxed out player and depending if you are talking to a free-to player, it's like it's never the same. My bear damage is bad today because we have no pets, so that's my bear damage. 700 million. 6.650. I usually closer to 900 and 1 billion, basically 650, so it's quite consistent. 620. 725, so that's today. And if you go back, no, you cannot see last day. So I used to do like 98 with troop ratio, but I found it was swinging quite a bit when it comes to damages. So I'm trying with like 1584, 94, and that's a bit more stable, it feels, in terms of like damage. And you will see Herbala, when you are like when you are Gen 9, I mean, we looked at it a few streams ago, but like Hendrik, Xura, and Bradley, man, it's like I regret so much doing Sonya and not doing Hendrik. I mean, you know, it depends for who, right? For bear damage, some people do a lot more. But it's, you know, it's a day without pet. But that's how crazy pets are, you know. Like it's not. I mean, from 600 million to 900 million is 50% more damage, you know. So that's when you pop that, it's like 40 for me with this level of pets. It's 40% more damage on bear. And when you look at it, you know, it's okay. It's a bit more troops. But you know, it's like it's reducing a bit of armor, increasing a bit of lethality, 8%, attack 8%. So it's not nothing too crazy, right? Nothing too crazy. So I spend my day, Obeda. People ask me who will replace this Flint. It's like the chances is where do you replace him already first? It's like, you know, is it in a defensive rally, is it in arena and stuff? It's like Hector for most people. It's like Hector for most people because Logan is really a rally leader hero, so there are little reason to do Logan. And then the next one is Amos, and Amos is not. He felt out of grace when it comes to being a rally joiner and stuff, so many people are skipping Amos. So the truth is likely Hector Gen 5, and people want to do either Wooming Gen 6 on infantry to get a good joiner eventually later and get a stronger infantry, or Edis Gen 7. That's the next option that you have, what you spend your shards. So that's likely one of these. But yeah, it depends where you want to replace him. I was wondering who will be the next infantry row that's going to replace Flint. If you don't transfer and you don't have many shards, I'll wait for Hector and I'll be patient and I'll, you know, have a weak infantry, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way, that's what the game gave you, that the cards you get, you know, you get at the free-to-play. That's how it works. That's how it works. So for me, like, and I've been thinking that for 2 years and I did not really change my mind, is like Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, when you are, unless you are a big spender, you kind of suck it up and you are weak with your heroes. You cannot do everything. You cannot spin 120 times the lucky wheel and get your VIP level in order. No, you even have the expert that you want to buy extra treks and stuff. You cannot do everything. So for me, it's like, you cannot forget a bit Gen 1, 2, 3, 4. You just pick the right joiners. You pick a bit Alonso to get not too bad in arena. You pick a bit Greg, like you pick some of the key heroes and you don't push them too far. And you are like, okay, I'm not that great. And then Gen 5, I go all in. I do Gwen, I do Nora, I do Hector. I go fucking all in and I kick butts and I'm strong and I'm catching up. And then moving forward, you have VIP 9, you have a strong Gen 5, so you can skip a bit Gen 6. You just do your René from the lucky wheel. Eventually you do Wooming now because he's a great joiner, stuff like that. And you know, Gen 7 you do Bradley, you put all your heroes to 5-star from Gen 5. Whenever you do a hero, you put them to 5 stars because you are VIP 9, you got the chart and you know how to save and to anticipate properly and prepare for a new gen. You do your widgets to 3 to 4 so you don't overspend on widgets as a free-to-play low spender. You don't need to. Except maybe Gwen, you can go 4 or 6 because she's great for bear. Except maybe Bradley, you can go 4 or 6 or 8 because you'll gotta keep him for longer. And then you do everything 5-star and you are decent. You are decent in arena, you have decent solo marches and you can do quite a bit. That's kind of the way I think, because there are just too much things to do Gen 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot really do all. Unless you transfer a lot, unless you spend money, unless, you know, this kind of stuff. But it's really not that easy to do all. So I'm just wrapping a bit up like the intermission and stuff. And there's something I want to talk to you about, guys. I think I got a good opportunity. I'm happy to share it with the community. So we'll do that in a few minutes. In the meantime, we'll kind of do a mix of Intel and... But I've been kind of slacking today. I'm quite behind. That's rare that I'm so behind, and I need to decide how I do my points with the farm as well. I'm probably gonna burn some mithril. Because I got some XP I need to burn on the farm that I don't know what to do, so I think that's gonna be good enough. Is that enough for the points? Yeah, it's enough. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So people are getting the buff from somewhere else. Oh, these are the ones I did not get. Let me check the shop quickly. Today I got red gear, one piece. Good job. That's very cool. What do you think about Magnus? I'm not a fan of Gato just because super defensive. I'm a medium spender. Hello Link, welcome. Oh wow, we just jumped 10 people. Pretty good. What do I took Magnus because I wanted to test him for bear, but then they changed Hector. But I did Magnus already. My Magnus was already 5 stars, so I was like, whatever. I did not do Magnus for that, but else I would have done Gregory, right? I would have done Gregory and would have done Xura and only Xura and Fred, Gen 9. If I did not want it to... I thought it would be good for the channel to test Magnus properly because I got like mixed feedback from some of the viewers that are already Gen 9 and from my research. I was like, I'll get it tested, but then, you know, they changed Hector and Hector kicked Magnus, so yeah. So if, you know, if I had to do it all over again, I would just do Xura because she's such a beast in arena with Bradley and Hendrik. I would not do Sonia. I did not do Sonia here, that's my farm, but on my main I did Sonia, so I would not do Sonia, I will do Hendrik because he's an amazing joiner as well. That's a unique 25% joiner skills, that's pretty good to have. You need some of your people with it, it's great in arena, so I'll totally remove Sonia, add Hendrik, remove Magnus, and I'll do Gregory. He seems to be quite better, but again, I'm not Gen 10 yet, so I don't know, but people say he's quite better than Magnus on every level, so... And then, you know, the gen after you can do Eleonora. Gen 11, I think she's quite good, and it's a lucky wheel, so... People say they keep Gatot for quite a while, actually. Salut, l'air triple. You started too early, I was still at work. Fair enough. Yeah, it was a early stream, but I'm not gonna stay for too long. There are things I need to do for work and with the wife and stuff, so it's like a small break in a long day of things to do. But there is something I want to talk to you guys about. So, you know, I'm regularly solicited by people about, you know, that project or that things. I, you know, don't have sponsors because I'm not really happy with the people contacting me about that. But there is a group that contacted me that's called the Good Gamer Group. So they are doing insight about gaming, and right now they are doing a survey on Whiteout Survival. And they are mostly targeting people that are in the US, in the UK, and the Americas, so like Central America, South America. If you fill the survey and you are from one of these countries, you get $5. You can get $5, and you might be selected to do a focus group later. And the focus group is actually paid $150 as well if you get selected. So I'll share the link with you guys. It's really, you know, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to, but you just have to fill the survey. Then they, you know, they screen people out. They select a few for their clients, for the focus groups, and it's mostly talking about Whiteout Survival. What do you like? What do you play? That kind of questions. They'll just ask you simple questions to understand the game better and things like that. And that is a paid thing. So I'll share the link. You do it, if you want to. If you are out of these countries, you can still fill the survey. I'm not sure you're gonna get paid. I'm not sure. You probably won't go to the focus group. They might select a few people outside of these countries, but that seems to be unlikely at that stage because they got, Europe, they got covered and stuff like that. They got what they need. So, and that's people, I talked to their president face to face on Visio. I checked on LinkedIn that these are real people. It's a real group. It's one of the bigger company out there that does like insight about video games. So I'll share it here. I'll share it in the chat in a sec. I find it's a good opportunity because it's many people I talked to privately about it. They were like, yeah, cool, I'm happy to do it. And then if you get selected and you go to the focus group, if you get your $150, that's pretty good. So that's the survey link for me. So if you feel that's affiliated to me. To be transparent, I think I get commissions if you go to the focus group. I'm not sure I understood that very well. So it's paid for me. So it's called the Good GGG. Let me just be sure I'm telling you that's right. Good Gamer Group. So that's like the big insight about gaming company. They look very solid. They do that as a... So again, you don't have to do it. Don't do it to, don't do it to support me or anything like that. Do it if you care to, if that's something you like to do. That's simple as that. I'll share it on the Discord as well if people want to. Something to note. So the survey, they will ask you for a phone number, so you fill it only once. Don't try to be too smart. But the survey need to be filled in one go. So if you lose internet, if you get disconnected, things like that, you're gonna lose your attempt to fill it. That's basically it, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, so I don't have a say about who is selected, about the focus group and stuff. So I'll just share it with you guys. If you want to do it, do it. And then if you get to the focus group, good for you. So I find it was a good project. It's really, again, I get solicited regularly. The bigger the channel goes, I get the bigger, I'm getting solicited. And most, 99 so far, like nearly everything I turned down because I don't really want to how to say it? To link my name with, with things I'm not aligned with, if that makes sense. So I'm very cautious of that. So that one felt good to me, felt right to me, in all these aspects. So and I think I'm not too sure about that, but I think if they could solicit you later for other project, other survey, other things like that, based on what you do, and that could be a thing as well. So you kind of in their database for that kind of stuff if I understand their project. They are like, they have pretty big profile on LinkedIn if you want to look at that. It's I'm careful with these things. I've seen everything in gaming after working 10 years in the industry, so I'm trying to be mindful and careful to put it that way. So that was a small, I don't know how you call it, advertisement, I guess, but I find the project cool as well. So. But that's it for that. Let me know if you have any questions. And then for tonight, so I'll be streaming. I'm not gonna stay too long, like I said, because I really want to. We are giving a workshop on Sunday for the full day, and we need to finish to prepare it with the wife, so that's take a bit of time. Still some work to do. Tomorrow I'll be streaming the battle for sure. I don't know if I'll be streaming the burning, to be honest. Because the problem with the burning is like I go online for 15 minutes, we burn everything we can, and then we wait an hour 45 minutes until the battle. and that's, you know, an hour and a half where I cannot work. It's not like I don't like to be with you guys, it's really that I have a lot to do right now. I'm behind on a few things personally, and things I'd like to finish for work, so I might just stream for the castle battle and not the burning. If the burning looks juicy and like fun, I might just on the stream for like a little while. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. I'll know tomorrow morning, basically a few hours before the event. So yeah, I'll stay on if you guys have questions. It seems to be, if you are not part of the country they are looking at it very quickly, which was my case. So I filled it before to try to see what's going on in the survey and stuff. So I had some issues to receive the SMS verification, but you know, it eventually happened and eventually received it. So yeah, I was unlocking my phone and kind of logged me out of the game. So that's the last thing I had open. But it's not really requiring much of you. Just the survey and then the focus group. I guess it will be an hour long, right? It will be like a meeting with other players. You know, might be some of you from my channel. I don't really know, you know, if they ask many other YouTubers or stuff, so I'm not really sure it's gonna go, but I thought it was cool. We'll do some arena as well. I'll do it on my main, but then, you know, we're gonna do on the farm, then we're gonna do it on the main, so you can see the power of Zura for people that are like, if you care about arena, like really consider Hendrik, Bradley, Zura. Like, I know some people, sometimes when I suggest that, they're like, yeah, but dude, I don't care about arena. I'm like, yeah, but you know, you have Olger now, so when your Olger is maxed, you know, or close to, or, you know, decent position. How is your SVS prep? SVS prep link is breeze. It's really a breeze. Day one was like big time in our favor. Day two, we kind of knew it's gonna be not a problem. So I did not really do much in SVS, but that's today. And if you look at the days, you know, that's day one. We had like, that's 400 million on day one is a lot. You know when, and that's, you know, only buildings and stuff. So they are not an older state, they are a newer state. So they have more chances to need, you know, that they have players that need to go to FC10 compared to us and stuff like that. Unlock T11, because that's 40 days, 45 day younger states. And that still went terribly in our advantage. That second day, same, you know, it's like 200 million. It's a lot. It's a low day. And then when you start to see the beast that goes in your favor, you're like, okay, you know, it seems that we're not gonna lose unless they have like crazy wells on training. But you see, like, we totally obliterate them on training, and our wells are a bit stronger. We have like more rally leaders than them, and like the stronger rally leader on our side is stronger than them, right? And the stronger rally leader on our side is actually, you know, she is like a ranking. She is right here, right? She's ranking very high, and you don't really see the rally leaders. I mean, I don't remember the names. I could actually check on their Discord. On our Discord, we got like the screenshot of the screenshots of their leaderboard and things that we got, but that seems to be was spammed a long time ago. That's crazy how many people can spam in a week. Wow. These? So their rally leader, their stronger rally leader. Which one will it be? Exploration stage. So it's Warriors, Night Hunt, Bad Max. So that's girl. She's a spender, but she's not in the top 10. Southside is not in the top 10. Top 10. Warriors is here, right? So that one of their stronger rally leader is here. So he made a good amount of points. That their best player, it seems. So yeah, he probably got stronger quite a bit, but overall we got stronger quite a bit more than them. So yeah, that's why, you know, especially if you can play at reset, makes your life so much easier for arena if you can play at reset. You know, but for Europe, it's like I'm a, you know, it's like it's 8:30. I feel so tired. But you know, I go to bed at like, you know, 9:30, 10:30. So like reset for me is like 1 a.m. Sorry. So I'll let them play. Actually, we'll look at what's going on. But you see, I'm even using Gwen, but I don't think I have Wine on my farm. But it does not work that well without the Xura. See like how much she heals on the other side. We still got the, you know, good advantage, but these are all people. That's, you know, Xura, Bradley. That's might be a bit rough, but that's two Lancers, so maybe. Oh, I wanted to attack it. See, for me, that's insane to not do your heroes to max. It's really insane. I don't know if you know, but that's not a farm. I'm a farm, so maybe, you know, maybe with Xura it actually works better. But wow, the healing is so tough. But my friend, let's go burn! Wow, that was close. I thought I win. I thought I win this one. But some of my farm is terrible in arena. Like I don't really have gear on my on Euro 4 and 5. I don't really have like a good set of gear for Euro 4 and 5. And my, you know, my main march is not that strong. Like I have a lot of power coming from that's Hendrik. Hendrik is pretty insane. Let's beat the put ×1 so we see a bit what's going on actually. I love Bradley. When he eats, you know, it's like bam. Boom. That was the last one, but we'll do more on the main, and I'll leave them run slowly, so you guys can see really like the insanity of Xura. She had a very bad press, but some people prefer her for bear. For me, I did not test her extensively, to be honest. Like I don't take bear that seriously, so it looked very close to Bradley, and I prefer to have my gear on Bradley. So we're just like, you know, whatever, that's gonna be good enough, because it does not really make a difference. You know, we know the kind of range of points you can achieve very easily, and people say Xura is very good in arena, but in Gen 10 she will not be good anymore because Blanchette counter the heal. Any comments? You know, I have Blanchette next week, so until then she's very good. Until then she's really good. Totally insane Gen 9. So, but yeah, you know, it's probably true. It's probably true. I did my command center thingy labyrinth, so we can do some arena. Let's try to find like good matchup. That's one of the people that joined last transfer. Dixon Cider. I don't know. Cider I know. Dixon I have no idea what it means. If it means something special. But I like not to attack someone from my state. If I can. We have Hamad. And that's Xura. That should be easily beaten. Even if it's close, like my experts are far above, and my setup should be far stronger as well. Let's slow down. But you will see, whenever Gwen is going down, okay, it goes to Bradley, but Bradley is not moving and Zura is healing herself like crazy. See like how much healing? Well, it was not the best example, but you see I'm crushing them, right? It's like 3 marksmen. He's already crushing them. That's another YouTuber. So let's see who is the best YouTuber of the neighbors. I mean, I have a better lineup and I'm stronger, so I should win, but who knows. I've been debating whether I keep my gear on Bradley or Hendrik for Arena. Bradley is max widget, Hendrik is level 9 widget, not sure. Yeah, I would not be able to tell, to be honest. Well, like, Hendrik is very strong, but Bradley is really insane, so... I know, like, with that C, I totally crush him. With the setup I have, you kind of want Xura to stay alive as well. So, like, that could be an interesting match. I mean, I'm far stronger in power, but I'm far stronger in power. Not gonna be that sexy. But for me, that setup worked when I started to get like gear. Initially I put like purple gear on Gwen. That was level 50, and until the gear was level 40-50, she was just dying too fast, and Zora could not keep her alive. So then they will start to move and blast Bradley, and that will be a big deal. But as long as that, you know, dude like Gwen or whatever you use, Wayne, whoever, Hendrik is far better. He's staying a bit alive, then Bradley is safe and he can blast. And that's pretty good. So now you will start to see. So that's the front line like healed so much. See, she got damage back, full life. And the front line is full life still. I mean, that's someone that's quite weaker than me, but you can, you know, you can clearly see how much healing is happening, right? Even the Lancers, infantries. See, like, they played like that. So, like, Will the Great, like, I have no chance. I mean, he's quite stronger, but he has, like, Magnus and Fred, which are better than Gatot and Sonya, apparently. And he probably can blast people in, you know, 70 million power that have a poor setup. No problem. Like, initially, the viewer that shared that with me was, like, 95 million power, so pretty high. And he would beat people that were 106 million power and that were maxed out, basically. And that were using 2 infantry, 1 lancers, 2 marksmen. He will beat them consistently. When he was 10 million power lower, and that could be more interesting. Because they already fight Ahmad. And that's you know, that should be... That guy has a very bad lineup somehow. You know, he has a bit of a strong gear, he has a bit of everything, but the lineup is like terrible. Sometimes I'm a bit surprised by people's choice. Oh, why are we refreshed? That is dude. Let's go. That should be an easy win. We'll see, but sometimes you get surprised. And I find like, for me, it's really not easy to know, you know, which will be better in your case. Like, I don't find Arena very easy to test. Sometimes you get a far better result in exploration. And then in that way, it's kind of quite easier to know. Like for me, when I swap Gwen for Gwen, I did like 15 levels. So you're like, okay, that works a lot better with my setup at least. Will it be true with everyone? Seems not, because you had a very different experience. But at least for me, it was true with my setup and where I was. So all of these are going well, right? I really find that not easy to find like a fair opponent, to be honest, in Arena. It's either like you no match or you get no matched. It's very rare that you are actually you can do fair. So you don't always do fair. Yet some I use to specifically counter heal comps and stuff. Yeah, you could use that's fair enough as well. What do you counter healing? Like maybe that's something we can do a bit. Maybe you have some good ideas. We can do after arena some exploration to see like if you have a suggestion for exploration to counter. Like I really struggle to counter there. Usually it's Greg, Alonso, Lynn, right? And Lynn is not eating like crazy, but she's still I find still like a real pain in the bum, to be honest. She's still really painful to deal with. So for our prep, it's 3.6 billion for us versus 4.2. That's a lot. That's quite a lot for the last day. We did not win any day. Our top 4 alliance score higher than their top 4, but they have 3 more that are pretty active and decent. Yeah, state activity is huge. It's really huge. It's really, really huge. And if you have a few more active players, sometimes it really means a lot. I don't want to spend my gems for that. It starts to go up a lot. I wanted to see if I can find someone that is a bit closer, but we'll bully some weaker people, to be honest. Matchmaking on the top 100 shift did us dirty. I mean, it's pretty tough. Like, matchmaking cannot really be fair for many people. That's just the way it is. You know, it's you know, if they match 100 states, there are no way there are 50 fair pairs of 100 states. That's just. So that's like that guy, for example, if I would fight XXX, like he's quite below, and I'm a bit above in my arena expert, but we can. I don't. If you want, guys, we try. But he blasts me. Like that guy is gonna destroy me. 99% chances. I'll do it for the science, but because of, I mean, he does not have the heroes set up the best way that I understand. So it could be that if we blast Xura and they die as well, because he has an Hendrik that's not very high we'll see, but he should be winning. That looks good for me so far, but it goes very quickly. See, that's Xura. So that's really like he had the lineup to be unbeatable by someone like me, but he places his heroes poorly. If he just put Xura in the middle, and Xura will be hitting Hendrik, that's probably a save for him. But you see, like, bam, going back to full life nearly. So she can take another hit, bam, and she takes 2 hits. She takes Hendrik, she takes Bradley again. She's soaking like all the AoE damage, and all of it, she's soaking everything. Yes, just had to kill Xura, which his first line is like got destroyed as well. When you compare the two, it's like big. But as well, Xura is like... it's like in... Did you play World of Warcraft? It's like in Arena in World of Warcraft. What do? You kill the healer on the other side, all you do is like you kill the healer on the other side. If you let the healer alone, you lose. You lose. So that's kind of the same here. So unless you just don't control what you do. I probably need to go around and get the buffs as well. I don't know who got the buff this week. Something we do, and I think is really good. I don't know if you guys consider that in your state, but we take the top 30 labyrinth, and you can go to any alliance on Friday, Saturday if you're in the top 30, and you can get one buff from the fortresses, right? So, you know, for events, like any state's important event, especially SVS, but now we have Tundra Armlings, we have Tyrant, like you get your top 30, that's, you know, a lot more easily buff, right? And some of the whales, you know, that are like too many gems, they don't go around and take them, right? But for many of the medium spenders, like these extra gems do a lot that you save. And I find it really good because in many of the states I've been in, like the buffs were attention with fortresses. And here we kind of give it to people that makes it matter, you know. When you have no stats, like 20% of no stats, it's not gonna make a big difference, right? I nearly forgot to get my teleports. How far do you refresh to get teleports? I go up to 100 gems, so that's 250. 1 time 50, 200, 2 times 100. Welcome everyone. We've got 10 more viewers. Thank you for being here. Is it worth to buy these units? What do you mean, like the teleports here? It was to refresh in case you get teleport for... can I show you one? Maybe I'll show you one. You can get teleport for resources, so, you know, Gen 1 is a bit rough, but as soon as you are Furnace 30 and you get extra resources, it's totally worth it, yes. Particularly if you like teleports. Particularly if you like teleports like I do. I don't really like teleports, to be honest with you. I kind of have a lot, but I'm not buying any teleports. I'm only going up on teleports, and I start to use more in like Frostfire Mine and in Canyon and whatever, not Canyon, Foundry. I start to use more, but you know, not really going down on teleports. In my current state, they don't do buff sharing, but in old state we did buff sharing. It was to benefit the rally leaders. Yeah, it's a fine balance. You have to find a way, but either works. You know, it's like either you like each week you give a list of players. Like for us, what we wanted was like something that any R4 can go and decide if, you know, should I give the buffs or not. And I cannot give my buff to someone else. So let's say I wanted like I don't know. We had nobody. Like we have El Patron, for example, that used to be 30, but this week is not because someone passed him. Like I cannot give him my buff, right? Because then it's a headache. So either you go and you get your buffs, or you know, they are wasted, basically. If that makes, I mean, they are useful to someone else, so they are not really wasted at the end of the day. But I got my Polar Terror, so I don't really care. Do you shield in SVS Battle Day if you're offline? Yeah, 100%. Agree. If you don't, you're gonna burn, man. You're gonna burn. You're gonna get zeroed. Like for us, and we are not the craziest state, but we are kind of fighters. We burn the opponent states in like 15 to 30 minutes. There are nobody to, unless you are reinforced a lot, right? Especially by whales. But if you are not reinforced, in 50 minutes to 15 to 30 minutes, we burn everybody. Adjust the weighted every time. So if you are not online in the first 15 minutes, you get nobody, you get nothing basically. That's one of the other issue. Like you kind of need to be on to be able to get targets. You were talking about me. I shield if I'm not online. I shield, of course. You know, once we were with friends, with my wife and stuff. We were like going to friends, and I was like kind of trying to play SVS, you know, while we were working with their kids and stuff. You know, and so I was like in and out of the game, and I was teleported like not too far from the hive, but you know I was kind of back there. It was another state, another alliance, but I was not close, but I was, so it was not easy to find me, but I was not too far. And I put the phone in my pocket for 2 minutes, you know, because we are like, you know, with people and stuff, chatting, talking and everything. And then I look back, and then I had like 5-6 people around me with like marches going back and forth non-stop. And I could have shielded. But I was like, it's 2 minutes. I'm, you know, hiding in a corner. It's gonna be okay. They're not gonna find me, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, and then I got zeroed. And it was actually that city, right? So that city got zeroed once. I got zeroed once with that city, so that's pretty bad. So it's a bit weird, you know, and I could teleport and bubble and save myself because I don't think they zeroed me like fully, but I got attacked like 10 or 15 times or something like that. So enough to be like in deep shit, basically. If, you know, that's one way to say it and think about it, it's like enough to be... We play 60-0-40 in SVS. That's probably good. I mean, that seems to work, right? That seems to work for quite a few people, so... Hey Tonton, I'm currently in Gen 1, but I don't like my state and they are too casual. I would like to move to another state. How long does it take for transfer to open? Transfer are Gen 3. So yeah, you have to be patient a bit. You have to be patient a bit. It's not for now. It's not for now. It's a very, how do you say? It's a very casual game. That's something to consider. Took me a while to be at peace with. Many states are not competitive. Many states are run like families. Many states are very much, many alliances are like families. They are not run like sport teams. That's often the analogy I use, is like you either are in a family or in a sport team usually, you know, in games. And if it's run like a family, you know, it's warm and cozy, but you will have people that, you know, that are not really good with the game and stuff, that don't really care. And if it's run like a sport teams, it might look a bit like a big harsh with the rules and stuff like that. So it's, you know, it's not for everyone, but yeah, Gen 3. It's not too far either, you know, it's kind of still so you need a bit of patience. That's, you know, sometimes you have both, right? Sometimes you have both. You have a bit of a family, Like sport team can be warm and cozy as well. It really depends on leadership. But if you care to be competitive, it's not always easy. I should have popped my pet sooner. I'm stupid for the albums. I should have popped my pets today. I need to see if I can get another one. Someone else can help me with something else. In Bear 2, we have very strict rules to avoid mess. Yeah, but you know, like, that's the issue with Bear rules, for example. You have to check your own rally, which I barely do, but I often don't really care about Bear, to be honest, so I'm not like too stressed about it. But you have to check your own rally, you have to check people, you have to kick them out. At the R4, you cannot kick people from Bear rally. So you cannot really micromanage everybody else. You have to tell the rally leader to kick people and they have to want to be able to do that. So it gets messy, but yeah. Yeah, and many alliances have strict rules, but like shitty rules. Or like shitty joiner list or like outdated content. And they are somehow they are... Catching up a bit on Discord, but that's all okay. You have an account in an alliance with strict rules, and then once where they only care about joiners, definitely prefer relaxed. Yeah, it's I mean, sometimes people, you know, it's for me, it's not an excuse to be a dick, if that makes sense, right? You can be competitive without being an asshole, but for some people it's hard. For some people it's hard to do. I consider alliances aiming at serious shit in their states, but if you don't do shit, you will just not last. People will either join the stronger ones or transfer out, or you will get like you will get a nice cozy atmosphere, but again, like really much like a family, right? It's like you can be, you know, you can do whatever you want. It's gonna be okay. You never get kicked, you never get sanctioned, you never get anything. And people, you know, over time, it's the issue with the family kind of alliances is like it's like people leave that are competitive, and the issue with competitive environment that are like run like dictators, like people leave because they're unfriendly, right? So you want to have a balance between like, okay, we are strict, we play well. Like, you know, we play like a sport team sometimes, but we are as well like a good, you know, it's a nice atmosphere. You want to be there, you want to stay there, it feels good to be there. What else is like not great either. What's your opinion about the upcoming T12? First of all, we don't know, right? You have, I mean, we have no proof or guarantee that this will be what we saw is the real T12. We just don't know. Having said that, T12 for me is I'm surprised we don't have T12 and Fire Crystal up to 13. Like some states have been in Fire Crystal and T11, Fire Crystal 10 and T11 for so long. And they gave us Experts, they gave us Pets, they gave us Labyrinth, they give us Daybreak Island, they give us all these new game modes instead of adding levels, and I think it's really good for the game in many ways. But imagine you are like on state, you know, 200 and you are FC10 for the last, I don't know how many years. you know, what do you do with your fire crystal and stuff? So I think we will need some. If you think about the way it works, is like fire crystal 1 and 3, then 4 and 5, then T11, fire crystal 6 to 8, then fire crystal 9 to 10. So the next logical step is T12 before we get fire crystal 13 to 11 to 13. I would not be surprised if, you know, this year we got T12 and fire crystal 11 to 13, right? I would not be surprised unless they give us other paths for the end game, which they did with expert, for example. But expert is really not the same as upgrading your building. It's the value you get is very different. I think experts were a really good move because they buffed many things I was thinking were undertuned. Like, you know, like for me, like arena shop, you could not buy enough. Foundry shop, you could not buy enough. SVS shop, you could not buy enough. For me, it was frustrating the little amount of item I can afford. One thing they probably need to do is to update some of these shops. Like you don't have pets, you don't have experts, you don't have, I mean, you have experts a bit here, but you are missing so many things here that you could want to buy. So, you know, they should do, of course, another pass on these. Give us more option with the skin shop. But, sorry, I'm really getting tired. But yeah, many of these I was like, it's underwhelming the amount of things you can buy. So I really wish we can buy more. I always said that they should double or triple the amount of foundry tokens you get, right, for a battle. And now with the expert doubling it, it's actually, and Tundra Armlings, it's actually quite decent. I might need even to increase a bit what I buy every 2 weeks because I just have too many. Of these. So, you know, that's people often say they are greedy and they just want more money and they will release new things to make more money. It's a pay to win game, so that's gonna, for me, I'm at peace with that. I have no problem with that. If they just wanted money and to milk the cow, like, you know, people like to say, you know, they will have give us charms to level 21 and, you know, purple black gear of the death of, you know, more stats, and they would have given us more essence stones. I think they could have just done that, and that would have still have worked for quite a while before people are fed up with it and leave. So that they are giving us experts, you know, all of these, I'm pretty happy with that compared to the ease of like just, you know, more levels of everything we already do and we already have. But yeah, experts can be very pricey, of course. Experts can cost a lot of money as well. That's very much true. Expert is very good all around. I think the $6, $5 packs for one of the best value in the game. Yeah, it's pretty good, especially because it allows you to kind of progress expert a lot faster, and that's really a lot of like real stats, you know, real gains, real benefits. So. And the $20 expert pack is very good. It's literally giving you the same amount of books as 99 expert pack, which come every 2 weeks. Yeah, Vigil. These, like the current packs are pretty bad. So the way it works for, like, you know, if you spend a bit, right? If you want to consider spending. Pets, if you look at old videos, like very old videos, but even after we got pets for maybe a year, like from folks like Bash Brothers and these guys that were making YouTube content at the time, they will tell you the best things to spend on is pets because the packs are the same for everyone. Nowadays, it's nowhere near to be true anymore, right? But it used to be true. It used to be what's true about that. It's not anymore, but it used to be. So I'm assuming an expert is currently there right now. Expert is like, you get the same as everybody else for experts. So I'm assuming that at some point, experts, you will get better pack, and not the one that we are talking about from the guilds, you know, not the one from here, not these two, but the ones from here, where we might have either other pop-up packs or other things, right? That I will really not be surprised by that. That packs are getting far better for experts. I block at packs above Gen 5, 6, only the monthly pass is good for me. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to limit your spending. It's the best way to limit your spending. Because if you start to spend, like, I don't know for you guys, but sometimes, you know, you're like, oh, I'm buying this pack and this pack and this pack and this pack. And I do my like personal, you know, finances once a month. So I'll do it, you know, tomorrow or the day after. Like, how much did I spend and all of these and how much, you know, how things are going financially for me in my life, basically. And sometimes you are counting the money you spend on packs and you are like, but I thought it was twice less. Somehow it felt it was twice less. And it's not. So yeah, it's a good way is like only do seasonal or like find a way to balance your budget. It's really important. Currently in my first Frosty Fortune bought the $5 plus $1 pack. Should I still skip like you recommended and do? Yeah, I think so. Why? Is mostly because you don't really have a fire crystal, or you go for, if you have enough, you can go for March skin and things like that, right? Some of the March skin are pretty cheap. You can do some of the cheap stuff eventually, but I find that it's you know, it's probably quite better to skip for later, because if you spend very little, you cannot do all you want every time. But if you spend that amount, you can do 20 chests. You can do 20 chests every time, no problem, if you spend that amount. It's only if you are free to play, you cannot. But you won't have any issue doing 20 chests, red chest. Even if you have to refresh a bit at the end of the event, that's gonna be really okay. It's gonna be really okay. I'm VIP 11 and stronger than a lot of VIP 12 because I bought better packs and was patient. Yeah, Lee, that's totally true. Especially people that go crazy Gen 1 and 2, like sometimes you see a globe skin or like a meteor marching skin, you know, Gen 2, Gen 1, and you're like, wow. Then you know they are killing people, right? They can burn anyone right and left and all of that, but it's like, wow, part of me hurts a bit, you know? Part of me hurts a bit, if you know what I mean. So, you know, smart spending is the same for me. Like you know, I'm VIP 12 now, but I beat some of the bigger spenders. And sometimes they, you know, they spend a lot more than I did. And that's, you know, because I spend late as well. And on mostly better packs for most of them. And I did not really do a lot of skins, you know. As soon as you start to do skins, it's a bit of a different beast, you know. Skins are really expensive. Really expensive. It's a fun 1 year for them until everyone catch up. Yeah. And some of them stop spending, right? Some of them stop spending because they're like, it's just too much, you know? And they kind of stop spending where it's not that good, you know, when they start to get good packs. So when you see someone stopping spending Gen 4, 5, it's a bit rough for them often, because people can catch up quite quickly. Quite quickly indeed. Hello Tonton, hello Tony. I have Gen 5 heroes for FC6 going to FC7, FC6 Helios infantry only, and I'm a rally joiner. Would you recommend I focus on Gen 6 lucky will hero only? I'm a very low spender. Most likely, most likely. So you already have Helios infantry, so that's pretty good. I would really push toward FC8 or FC9 before I consider a second Helios. Unless it's like required on your state and they really prefer Helios over Fire Crystal level. Some states do that. Some states like really prefer T11. But Gen 6, I mean, it depends how you how you play. Gen 6, you're gonna get René. René is very good for playing 60-40, so that you get a very good buff here. You get a very good buff with 60-40 if you want to try or play with it. Gen 6, I usually suggest to skip Wayne unless you have a lot of shard save, because Wayne is really about arena, I find, and we had a conversation about that earlier. But you're not gonna max his widget, so it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a situation. Thank you for the heart. It's not gonna be a situation where you can really benefit from it. So the only thing in Gen 6 you can consider is Wooming, because Wooming is one of the best joiner right now, and it might be asked by your rally leaders and things like that. They might start to ask Wooming more and more. So if you really want to have all the options for rally joining, that getting Wooming could be one option. Could be something you are like, okay, it's not optimal, it's not perfect, I'm still gonna kind of do it because I need it. Else, if you want a very good infantry for yourself, Elise is quite better, I find. And I used to suggest Elise, but now I'm kind of more like do it a bit sooner and do Wooming. But it could be rough on charge because people tend, and that's my suggestion as well, to go very heavy on Gen 5. So usually like replenish in Gen 6, go very heavy Gen 5, you do Nora, you do Gwen, and then you slowly, Gen 7 you do like Elise and stuff like that. And Bradley, some people burn some general shards on Bradley just to get him a bit faster, not to suffer too much in arena for too long, which I did as well myself, which I tend to suggest if you have a lot of shards. Going for dinner now. I wish you good evening and good night. Thank you, you too, Lynn. Enjoy dinner. I'm gonna go soon as well. Time. Thank you. I do have over 500 shard. I'll go for Wooming. Yeah. If your state is like using the current good joiners, then Wooming is good to have. The other option to have Wooming as the joiner is like to wait for Gen 8, and Gen 8 is gonna give you 200 shard of Wooming, and you complete the shard missing, so you kind of need to use 250, 300 shards instead of 475 to put him 4 stars, so you save a bit of shards. If you really want to be efficient and to have him as a joiner later, you are not sure if your state is gonna ask you to use Wooming, because they are not like, they are still at the 4 Patrick kind of level of joiners, then that could be a thing. That could be a thing to do with Gen 8, or you put him like 3 stars now to benefit a bit, but that's not gonna do you much, to be honest. I'm not sure it's really gonna do you much. So thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the hearts. Welcome everyone. We're kind of going back as well with more and more people watching. So see, like, we're not missing much damage. We are not missing much damage. I cannot do better than that. I'm stuck on the same level in exploration. That's pretty rough, Sunshine. This level, like, and I've been stuck to some of the other ones before, but Greg, Lynn, Alonso is really, really strong, and I don't really know what to do, and I'm not gonna push, anytime soon, so I'm gonna be stuck for a little bit. I used to be like, I'm still doing decent, like many people don't really play properly in exploration, to be honest. They don't really, not that they don't play well, but they don't spend the time. They don't spend the time to swap their lanes around and try what works best, but Let's do maybe Wayne is working better. We can do some Wayne tonight. We can try. It usually does not work better, but maybe for that one. Maybe he lasts longer a bit. Wow, see? That's better. I know someone that's gonna be happy with that. Will I win? Wow, so freaking close. That's insane. So let's see. Sometimes you have to swap. Like, you know, Gwen gave me like 15 level when I swapped to Gwen. And now Wayne might pass me that level because somehow he works. Like, he died very quickly today, this time. But maybe we got lucky the time before because it survived quite a bit. See, so he has, yeah. These are pretty random, right? It goes so fast. The outcome, maybe after we get Gen 10, will work for us. Try again, you will win for sure. We'll do a few times, but see, like, the outcome is never the same at that stage. When you are in the early days of the game, like, the outcome is often a lot more similar, I find. But see, like, that's so much better this time around. That's probably a win, unless like they are a lot stronger than mine, but that's probably a win, and that's one more level. You will push next SVS. Very likely, yes. Very likely. That's usually my cycle. That's usually my cycle. Wow, Patrick is like a... Wow. He's like a tanking... Huh? How do you counter Patrick? Sometimes you just do that and it works. If you know why swapping Lancers and Infantry and you can already explain it. Like, I'm not... You know, sometimes it's just putting troops a bit differently, things like that, but it's really... Like, that Patrick is a monster. He is freaking full life. He is freaking full life. So. But it's probably a lot less heavy on Xura this time. So maybe she can survive here. And, you know, we can have Bradley and Wayne safe a bit longer. That seems to work a bit better. That's not great, but we'll have to... And that's the issue now. It's like you have to spend 4, 5, 6 tries with the same comp to see like same lineup to see if it works or not. Hey, it's too hard to say. A888 was, thank you very much, amazing channel, thank you. I'm tired, I'm doing okay, we are chilling, but long day. Let's go. That looked pretty good. Let's see with Gwen. What could I change? Let's try like that. I did not try yet. I'm stuck at level 445, but Bradley soon. Yeah, Bradley is gonna help you so much, man. Keep my dudes alive. Come on. So what I want to try is actually Bradley on the left, because like the second to die was actually Wayne in the back lane, was not Bradley. Often the one that dies is the one on the left before middle, but this time middle died before. Wow, that's so much. So yeah, I'm not finding a good put lean inst. We can try lean. Oh, I need to... I mean, we see, but I need to swap the gear because Lynn has no gear right now. That was pretty good without the gear on Lynn, so I'll try with it. Just need to charge the phone for a sec. But that might be a good idea. And where is my gear? That's why as well you want, you know, I like to have all heroes. It's for this kind of stuff sometime. For me, it didn't work better, yeah. So it's if she stays alive a bit, she can buff everybody a bit too. Wow, that's very, very close. Boom, 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 boom. Would you change the order of them? I mean, we can always try Magnus and Fred. That's never hurts, you know. But that's like they are very, very low. So if Bradley, bam, yes, that's what I wanted. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, that's so close. That wow. That's freaking so close. I was missing like, you know, 2 arrows from like a... I'm at Jet 7, I don't know about these heroes. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So it worked. I was watching a DM, so I did not see how it went. But Lynn is working, so you see like... And then people ask me, you know, with the best. So for me, the best was Gwen until level 570, and now Lynn is the best, and I'm Gen 9. I mean, I'm sure if I had Hendrik, it would be a different story, right? But it's like... That's why I find it so hard sometimes to answer a question, and I always try to answer a question at the end of the day, but it's like with the best. It's like it depends. Depends. It depends so much. I mean, she might be, but Alonso is still kicking my butt. Lean in the middle. Okay. Retry. So you will do what? Like that? Let's see. So that's, you know, that's one video I nearly made, and, you know, I might actually do it. And I don't know how to make like the... That's pretty good. That was a good idea. That might be... we need to see, but that might be working. That's very close. That's the closest we've been. So there is one video I wanted to make, and I don't know how to make the thumbnail and the title to kind of have people watch it. It's like freaking read the skills of your heroes. Like I have so many people, and I've been you know, doing that myself so often. That's destroyed. We crushed it. It's like fucking read the tooltip and what it says, you know, and understand the interaction between the things. But the tooltip are misleading as well sometimes. So you see, we did 3 levels so far. So and Greg, let me try. Let us know. Pat Bradley on the other side. But that's a lot of level easy so far. That's really a lot of levels easy. Easy peasy. Because of Lynn. So who would have thought that Lynn make you win? But we don't have Alonso anymore, right? So we might need to swap to something more offensive. But we have Fidi. That will be really good that we have a... You know, I could make a list one day of what really works. And kind of the best tips for that. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's like a bit more still every hour, but I need to go, guys, at some point eventually. I think wife is waiting for me for quite a while now. I said I stopped like 20 minutes ago. Maybe before I go, I'll just re-explain about the survey that I shared earlier, if some more people want to feed it. Basically, the guys at Good Gamer Group reach out to me. They are doing like a gaming insight, so like a big company that's doing gaming insight on, on video games. And they reached out to me, and you can fill a survey that I'll link in the chat. If you are in the UK, if you are in the US or in the Americas, you get $5 for filling the surveys. And if you get selected, like they're screening people through the survey, and you can join a focus group after that if they select you, and you can attend the meeting and stuff like that. It's an hour-long meeting, that kind of commitment. It's not like 5 hours or crazy. And if you reach the focus group and they screen you for it, you get $150 from it. So that's pretty cool. It requires a few minutes to fill. The only things to know is that if you start the survey, you have to fill it in one go. You cannot stop it. It's just for security reasons, so people are not filling it many times and stuff like that. They have to be a bit strict. So that's all legit. And yeah, so that's people are reaching out to me for this kind of stuff regularly, and I usually pass on that. But this one I was happy to collaborate with them. So, and they are looking for people. Like the focus group are mostly about what do you like about Whiteout Survival? What do you do in the game? Do you spend? Are you free to play? This kind of stuff, right? So you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be knowledgeable. You are just a Whiteout Survival player, more or less. That's all they need with that focus group. So yeah, if you want to fill the survey, I think I got a commission on the survey if you get to the focus group, just to be transparent as well. So it's not like I'm not doing that for that, if that makes sense as well. But that's part of it. So the survey in the chat, I'll share it tomorrow as well, as you know. And when they have enough people, they have enough people. The opportunity is gone. So far they did not have enough people, so I'll share it a bit more. But Bradley to play against Lean. You mean you will do like that? These are very close so far. Boom. But see, my Bradley dies very quick now. I don't know if I need lean middle on that one. But that worked pretty well so far. Hey Black Ted, welcome. But it's nearly a wrap up for me, guys. We'll do a few more runs and then I'll go for today. I'll see you tomorrow for the battle before it's too late. Yeah, and they are nearly dead by like peanuts. I should change maybe the front line. But I'll do one or two more time and I need to run, guys. It's been long enough. It's already nearly half an hour extra. And tomorrow is a long day. Let me just swap a bit. Let's see. See, that does not work at all somehow. As soon as you change some stuff, then it's really not. Yeah, I beat my exploration level. It had Greg and Alonso. Okay, cool. Lean to the right did it. 2 more tries. We try lean to the right as well. 2 more tries and bedtime for me. That looks pretty solid, but you know, it's until Alonso is blasting everything. We try one more time like that, then I go. Yeah, that's it for today. Only 5 level, but that could be, you know. That was a lot, you know. I'm like rank 30 in power in Labyrinth, so I'm like 28, I'm right here. So that's a lot of extra levels, so thank you guys, that was really cool. Really helpful, but now I need to get rid of that. So my arena, I'm not getting crushed in arena. That will be important. So I'll see you tomorrow for the castle battle. Don't forget the survey if you want to. The survey group again is taking 1 hour of your time if you get selected, so that's it. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Thank you very much for being here tonight. We end up on 40 people, so that's pretty cool. Thank you again for the last 3 hours. Much love to you all. Bye bye. Good night.